Due to breaking news, we are bringing you a live Escape Pod Cast Extra.
Yes, indeed, we sure are bringing you a live Escape Podcast Extra right now because our good friend SB Crumb has dropped some information that we must go through, and it's in relation to ships, which has just dropped for us. And look, there's some great stuff in this little Q&A that he's come out with, Paul. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's 8 questions here. How long have they basically gave us a little history lesson. How long have ships been in Galaxy of Heroes? 2.5 years. Can you tell us how ships have evolved? I mean, for those of us who have been there, we all know how ships evolved. And we're already on ships 2.0 with 3v3. You know, how many ships have been released in the last year? Go read this list, Scotty. Look, guys, listen to how many ships have been released just in the past 1 year.
Yeah, Han's Millennium Falcon, the Emperor's Shuttle, the Ebon Hawk, Hound's Tooth, IG-2000, the Xanadu Blood, Sith Fighter, B-28 Bomber, Anakin's ETA-2 Starfighter, and Lando's Millennium Falcon. And a number of these ships also introduced the new reinforcement abilities too, which was something that came out with ships 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, so we have, let me count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different ships that were released in the past year. How many of those 10 ships do you have at 7 stars, Scotty?
All of them.
Yeah, you're lucky. I'm missing the Sith Fighter and the ETA-2.
Yeah,
those are the ones that I'm currently working on. But I mean, that's a pretty hefty list.
Yeah.
But the fourth question is the one that we wanted that prompted us to go, we got to go live again.
Yeah.
And yes, we are actually live on the US Friday, the 31st. Actually, in the evening this time, and Scotty, it's almost bedtime for you.
Nah, man, it's afternoon for me. Actually, it's just gone midday here.
That's right.
It's lunchtime for those of you that are playing at home. And look, it was very, very interesting because Crumb has actually come out and stated exactly what a lot of people have been talking about within this community, saying that right now there is a need for additional capital ships. Well, he got that right, didn't he, Paul?
we talked about it in the actual episode, the prequel of the extra, if you will. We said we need more capital ships. We hit it on the head, and I'm glad that this came up. The biggest thing speaking of the feature, can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect? And so this came from I'm missing the name of the person who did this. I received, let's see. He snagged one of the designers. He didn't even tell us who said it. Yeah. But the biggest thing right now is the need for additional capital ships. We've added only 1 capital ship since launch of the feature, and they provide a tremendous amount of strategic choice for the players. With the upcoming GOTB, we're going to release a new capital ship. I wish we could show more benevolence and tell you exactly what's coming, but negotiations are underway about when we will share the news.
Now, is that a rhyme for malevolence with benevolence, Paul?
And you know, when Kenobi showed up, what did Grievous say? Oh, the negotiator.
That's true. He did. Oh, gee, we're deciphering this now. Benevolence. That is very, very interesting from Crumb when he actually uses that term. Because it got me thinking. The malevolence. It has to be that. Now, if you look up what benevolence actually means, benevolence is actually the quality of being it's basically the quality of being kind. And so, in other words, he's saying that they wish they could show you more kindness or benevolence and tell you exactly what's coming. I like this. I like this, Paul. I really do. Hopefully, It's the General Grievous
It's
ship.
a rhyme.
Yeah, it's a rhyme.
Yeah. I mean, look at all of this. For the longest time, what did we do? We farmed General Grievous because we thought he was going to be the best thing. He was shard shop currency only when he started.
Yeah, he was. He was.
And it's something that, quote unquote, they wanted for the end game. Well, here's the end game. How about they show us some benevolence and actually tell us who it is?
Now, look, it does continue as well because, I'm not sure if it's a misprint in here, but there is a little bit more on the fleets too, in which Crumb does mention, and I know that a few of you guys have actually taken screenshots of exactly what Crumb was saying. And, I got to say that perhaps you guys might be right. It says here, in the meantime, there are capital ships and Grand Arena and a new territory battle to enjoy in the coming weeks. Paul, are we going to get another, are we going to get 2 capital ships, man? Are we going to get 3? Are we going to get 4? What's going on?
I'm going to go ahead and hedge my bet on 2. So, let me pop this open. You entertain for just a second. I have to count how many ships we actually have right now.
Okay, mate, you go for that. This is in response to this. How likely do you think that it is that we'll see a raid that includes ships or an entirety of a ship raid? Now, this is a question that's been hot on our lips for quite some time. But Crumb basically says that in the dev Q&A, they're actually absolutely exploring a raid with ship content. They've talked about doing raids which include ships as well as raids that are fully dedicated to ships. They try to tell dynamic stories with their raids, and that's pretty easy to do with characters. Now, getting the same level of, dynamism is an interesting design problem, i.e. trying to create iconic moments like dogfights, chase sequences, etc. It could resemble something like our character raids, but we're exploring who to deliver something completely unique to ships. Who to deliver something completely unique to ships. I'll repeat that. Who to deliver something completely unique to ships, since it's an entirely different type of battle and level of strategic thinking. Now, he continues to say, this is very much in, basically trying to think about it in an idea stage at the moment. So it will be some time before you see it on the holotables. But in the meantime, he says there are capital ships, plural, Grand Arena Championships, and a new territory battle to enjoy in the coming weeks. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So I did the math here. And thank you, JD, for pointing out 42, including capital ships. So let's take the capital ships out of there. All right. So 38. That means we have 38, right?
Yeah, 38. At least that's my maths anyway.
And so we field 3 with 4 reinforcements. So 38 divided by 7 comes to 5.42. So we're needing another 4 ships to be able to field 6. Let's think about this. We have the Y wing, the B wing, the A wing, and then they talked about a pilotless thing that you and I are thinking is going to be a buzz droid or vulture droid, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So there you go. There's your 6.
Ooh.
Add 2 ships, and you're fielding 6 teams with 6 different capital ships. Full. So I don't think that was a typo.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, we need that right now. I mean, for me, when I go into territory wars, I always only have the 3 ships there, but they've always got like a heap of fleet left. It's time. It's time. But, as Hellenic says, he says that over 9,000. But, it'd be nice to see Luke's X-Wing come to the game. I would love to see that. That would be nice. But I don't think we'll see it in this particular bit. But, you've nailed it on the head, Paul. The B-Wing, the A-Wing, the X-Wing that was in that content that we saw just before to try and get the Millennium Falcon. Geez, I want to do that event again, man. Because that was so much fun seeing those ships in there, don't you reckon?
That is one thing that I really wish would come back to the game for us to re-experience unlocking seeing those videos again. I mean, how many more times do I really want to see the intro to the bounty hunter, going after Chewie thing? I mean, I saw that too many times.
Me too.
But seriously, I would love to relive unlocking Jedi Luke. I'd love to relive Rey reaching out for that lightsaber to unlock JTR. Let us play those again. Reduced rewards is fine. Maybe even, oh my gosh, maybe we can spend some of our ally points that are so egregiously taking up space.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I use those for the shipments at the moment, but look, it is what it is. But my friend, we've got it. Well, I digress. We have to get back to this, because what Crumb's saying is that, in this particular post, he says, how we diversify ships. This is very important. How we bring new and interesting gameplay mechanics to players and how we carve out, this is Capital Games, of course, unique identities for ships, much like characters, is something that is always on their minds. They like to think that the real goal is to try and create a vibrant meta and have multiple bands of power that are there and actually are pretty interesting when it comes to strategic decisions to bring into Grand Arena. So right now the question is, do you bring in the hammer or do you leave it on the bench?
It's not called the hammer.
It's not called the hammer.
It's the MILF.
It is the MILF. Indeed, it is the MILF. He says, we want to bring in the kind of strategic depth to fleet combat that a Space Admiral could appreciate. Now, that, my friend, makes me very, very excited because, I love Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm a big fan of Grand Admiral Thrawn, and if you want to be the Space Admiral, well, this man knows his ship. So I got a feeling, mate, that suddenly Grand Admiral Thrawn's ship, if you read into this, the Space Admiral could appreciate there's only one Grand Admiral, and it's Thrawn. Maybe, we might see a rework to Thrawn's ship as well.
I don't see how it could specifically fit in there because Thrawn. Thrawn. Now that actually being said, the episode of Rebels with Click Clack, was in the same time period as Thrawn. Yes. I would love to get Click Clack in a ship.
Yeah, now that would be pretty cool. The only other admiral that I could think of in terms of an admiral is Akbar that's in this game. Space Admiral. Maybe
don't go down that road because it's a trap.
It is a trap. That's the only thing I can think of right now in terms of admirals. So, Admiral Piet, but that's in the original trilogy. I'm just trying to think. But
we gotta think Clone Wars. We gotta think Clone Wars because it's coming with the Geo territory battle. My money is down. I'm actually putting all my chips. Do we want to do the bet? I'm saying that it's Malevolence.
Oh, I think it's Malevolence too, but I think that there's another ship.
Okay.
I think there's another ship that's coming with it too, just quietly. I honestly do. Now,
so we'll save the bet. We'll save the bet for later.
Yeah.
But both of us think that it's Malevolence. That's the escape pod speculation station and prognostication pagoda, as we call it.
Okay, now I've just gone and done a little bit of a Google search, my friend, because I like to do this. And as you probably know, Admiral was a commonly used rank designation for various naval forces. What was Thrawn? He was part of the Navy. In the Republic Navy of the Clone Wars period, admirals were responsible for the organization and management of Republic fleets. Now, there's a number of different admirals that you can go and have a look at, which is on there. Tarkin was actually a Republic admiral as well back then in the Clone Wars too, which is very interesting. And it's interesting too that there's a number of deceased characters as well, like Dow and Trench. Ooh,
Trench. Ooh. That would be nice.
Grand Admiral Trench. There's a number of other ones here too. There's Shawan Killen. There's Yularen. There's Tarkin, obviously.
Oh, Yularen.
Yeah. There's Dow, Coburn, Tennant. That's on the Republic side, and on the Separatist side, you have Trench. Could it be? Could it be?
All right. So it's Trench or it's General Grievous with Malevolence. I'm still thinking Malevolence.
Yeah, I'm still thinking Malevolence as well. But, yeah, Trench, eh? That'd be pretty cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Or could it be someone that's not even an admiral that is a pirate? And he's now just made his first appearance at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You know who I'm talking about, Paul.
What do we know? We're just pirates. Ando Anaka.
Exactly. Could it be him? Well, who knows? Maybe he's stolen one of the capital ships. Now, that would be a cool storyline. But that would be pretty awesome. But, man, like, I'm excited about this. I mean, like, I love the ships in the game. I really do. I mean, like, they help me get my Zetas every single day, and I'm enjoying that part of the game. For me, ships is a lot more fun than the actual arena itself. Gives me something different to look at, and I'm enjoying the Millennium Falcon. But as they say in the actual post here, where they were actually asked, Crumb was actually asked, who are you running at the moment, and what's the best fleet outfit? He says that he's currently running Home 1 with Houndstooth and Hans Millennium Falcon, as is everyone else, which is true. He says, we're aware of how clearly dominant these two are together, and we've been actively working on what the future of ships looks like, and where HMF, Hans Millennium Falcon, is not the only strategy. They intended these two to be strong, and he says that they've had their time to shine, and now they're working towards adding additional competitive fleets into the game. Fleets. Additional fleets, Paul. So let's go back. Let's recap. Let's
recap after this quick break.
Recap
after this quick break.
Okay.
That sound good, Scotty?
Yeah, man.
We'll be right back after this. After the word from our sponsors, right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
Hi, this is Cypher Master SB Crumb, and you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
McKay's Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, McKay's will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. McKay's has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact McKay's today on Discord at all lowercase McKay's number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at mckayasmods@gmail.com. McKay's Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Like what you hear on the Escape Pod Cast? Want to support Scotty and Paul? Then sign up to be a Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you can help them launch escape pods for months to come. Visit patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up. Support us today.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast. The Escape Pod Cast. The Bridge.
Okay, so we've just gone over SB Crumb's post, and Paul, let's just recap. What were those 6 ships that you said that we needed in the game, and you've got a funny feeling that you think that they might be the ones that are coming?
So I don't know about the second capital ship. I mean, if we got Grievous and if we got Grievous's Malevolence and we were to get Trench with his ship, that'd be great. But the ships, we are actually 4 ships shy of exactly 6 fleets. So I'm thinking A-Wing, Y-Wing, B-Wing. And then some other ship that we have not seen yet. And that will be the Vulture droid.
Yeah.
That's the speculation that comes from me, who tries to read the tea leaves as best as possible.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think you've nailed it. And, maybe later on, one of the pilots for the B-Wing or the Y-Wing could be Nien Nunb. I think that'd be sensational.
That would be excellent.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you might even get that, which would be pretty cool. So, all right. So, okay. So that means we've got 2 capital ships coming. I noticed that JD saying the Leviathan and saying Saul Kareth will be the character to come with that. That's an interesting take. Look, I know a lot of people want the Leviathan. I'll get my words out. I know people want that in the game. Possibly.
Not here. I don't want to see another KOTOR thing until after we get through Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So, yeah, possibly. Maybe. JD, maybe. You just don't know. But
now, there was, Scotty, in the X-Wing miniatures game, there was a scum and villainy that could lead, that could be a bounty hunter faction great capital ship. That was the Sea Rock cruiser. It was piloted by Vizago. Vizago was in that ship at times. So, I mean, it's certainly, I would love to see a Sea Rock. It's the same size as a Corellian Corvette and an Imperial Raider. It works.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. That does work. I'm having a look at the moment, just going over capital fleets, and look, there's a number of them that are listed here. I don't want to name every single one of them, but my goodness, there is a lot. Z95 Headhunters. Could be another ship that could come to the game.
The Z95s were great.
Yeah. So that could be another one, man, that could come to the game. Who knows? I mean, we're just speculating right now. We don't know. But I can tell you this, that, I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the new ship meta. I really am. I can't wait. I really, really cannot wait. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring it on, I say, man. Bring it on.
Now, here's another one. So if we just go with benevolence as malevolence, and we go with negotiator entirely different, remember who General Grievous was speaking to. Grievous was speaking about Kenobi. We could possibly get that could be the second one. We get the dark side capital ship in Malevolence, and we get the light side capital ship with, I think it was called the Negotiator. Actually, what ship was Kenobi on?
He was on a Venator class Star Destroyer. Which served as the flagship of the High Jedi Council, and he used to be on the previous flagship called the Negotiator. But there you go.
Okay, maybe. So the Negotiator was one. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have, Crumb needs to do a little bit more ciphering on this one. Come on, Crumb. I look forward to having him on, man. I really do.
Absolutely, man. So do I. Crumb, I don't want to go any further. I've got a funny feeling that CG Carrie might tell us a little bit more next week. Who knows? But she's currently stowed away in the back of the escape pod at the moment. So, you can't hear from Carrie just yet, but you'll be hearing from her next week, which I cannot wait for. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Look, guys, this is going to be good. I can't wait for this, but let's get into some of your questions here. Yes, shout out to Tenpool. Hello, Tenpool. Good to see you, bro. Sith Raid, next one is going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait for that. So, let's go through some of the questions. This is the bridge, man, and, post your questions right now. What do you guys think? What's happening? What are you guys thinking? I mean, this is pretty good. We know that Porkins is not coming to the game. We know that. They said they were going to be releasing a shirtless Kylo Ren before that, so can't see that happening, Paul. Can't see it happening, brother.
Nah, but I can see a actual Jar Jar. I can actually see Jar Jar being a C-3PO type character. And unfortunately, he buffs all of the... this is how it would play out in my mind while we're waiting to see if there's any questions that are coming up here. One that did get sent to me from Dark Lord Kobe wanted to ask what the synonym of very hard will be for the Cap Ship event. So I'm going to just say Boutros Ghali.
Very good. Very, very good. I like that. Yeah, and I second that. Helenix actually says, how's Jess? She's good, mate. She was just here before. She came in and she was looking quite good today. So, Jess, or as we like to call her, Cora, she wants to send her love to all of you guys. So, she was just here before. So, yeah, she's going really well. She's got this Dancing for Cancer thing, which is happening shortly. I put a link in here not long ago, so you guys can grab that if you want to and be a part of that. For Cora on Urzatron's channel and Jess on our channel. That's the same person. So, yeah, we love Jess. All right, we got another question here. From Heinzie saying, do you think that the new capital ship will come as a Rolo-style reward in the brand new Geonosis territory battle, Paul? I'll hand this one over to you, man. What do you think?
It'd be nice, but there'd be a lot of detractors. We'd hear the end of the world from half the YouTube content creators about it if they put a ship in there. I think it's going to be a character. That would make the most sense. But honestly, it'd be nice. I really do think that it would be nice, Heinzie, but I don't think that ships are what they want to promote with the new territory ban.
No, I don't think so either. I think there'll be characters that they'll be wanting to promote, and your Geos will probably be one of those characters that they'll be wanting to promote. I mean, it's on Geonosis. So, that'll be probably something that they'll want to promote, which will be good. I can't wait to see it, this territory battle.
And the clones.
Yeah.
We got to have those clones.
Yeah.
I want Gregor.
Man, I want so many clones. It's not funny. But hey, it is what it is. Hey, man, look, we'll ask, anyone got any questions for us? We'll happily take those right now in our listener lounge. So please jump on over and be a part of this. This is the Escape Podcast Extra, and it's great to be with you guys on the extra part of the Escape Pod cast. And Paul, I might ask you actually, man, I mean, like, now that we're in this sort of period, that where we've like where we're not really gearing up. Well, we're trying to gear up characters and the like. We haven't seen any new character releases apart from Padme earlier in the month. What are you doing, man? What are you farming? What gear are you farming? Who are you gearing up? What have you got?
Well, this was said earlier. The only two things that I'm missing right now are Rose and Vandor Chewie. As far as who I'm gearing up, I am going after the clones. I think that the clones are going to be huge. If we do end up, going dark side and light side immediately after, if Geonosis territory battle is just strewn everywhere, I think the clones are going to be huge. I think that there's going to be you're going to need. They talked about a Mace rework. Awesome. So I think those Galactic Republic Jedi are going to come in very, very handy. Aside from that, on the dark side, gear up those droids, those separatist droids. Go after the Geonosis. Go after the bugs. Throw them in with Dooku and Newt.
Yeah.
I mean, right there, that you've got the 3 bugs, Dooku and Newt. You should be good to clear. If you got high gear, you should be able to clear pretty much everything in the territory battle. If it's anything like what we're experiencing right now with the territory battle, I have a feeling where it's not going to be, and I'm looking forward to that interview with Carrie to find out more and to be able to share with all of our listeners. This is going to be so great.
Well, it's funny you should say about the clones and the like, because I got my son Fact to Gear 12, and I also got my what's his name, Count Dooku, and also Newt Gunray. They're all at Gear 12 now for me. I've got the Geonosis soldier. He's sitting at Gear 11, and I'm gearing him up right now. I'm working on him at present to try and get him to Gear 12. I've got Poggle the Lesser, he's at gear 10, so I've been working on him. Captain Rex, I'm still working on gearing him up. He's at gear 10 as well. I've also got in my favourites, Paul, I've got the Imperial Probe Droid. He's in there. He's at gear 9. I'm trying to gear him. Echo's in at gear 9. Cody's in at gear 9. I've got Fives at gear 9, and Clone Sergeants managed to get to the gear 9, and my Geo Spies at gear 9 as well. So, so that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm working on all of those guys and gearing all of them up. I'd love to get my Probe Droid up to gear 12.
No, you're right at 9 with everybody that you need. And when the original territory battles came out, 9 was good enough. Let's, I would prep people, because she did say that it's Boutros Ghali or whatever I Bardzo Trundy. I think is actually what she said.
Yeah.
But with that being said, she said it's very, very hard. So 10, 11 is, if you're listening to us, 10 to 11 with what she said. I mean, that's what we've needed for these difficult, very difficult, arduous, gargantuan, all of these, thesaurus for difficult events. And you don't want to you don't want to let your guildmates down. And I'm not meaning to put pressure on them, but come on, guys. This is the perfect time to shine as a guild.
Yeah, and
I want you to beat me.
Yeah, you don't want to be
I want them to beat, Yavin 4. Right now we're having some problems. You guys are probably going to beat us in the Dark Side Territory battle. Don't worry about that. But we're going all out. Yavin 4 will be up at the top of the leaderboard as close as possible for this Dark Side Geo battle. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely. All my droids are done except for Magna Guard. He's still at gear 9, but the others are all gear 12. They're ready to go. I'm ready to rumble, man. I can't wait for this. Now, we have got a question from the shameless self-promotion of Helenix. He actually says, with the introduction of Gear 13, are you guys worried about more power creep? Well, Paul, you go first on this one.
Yeah, it's, to be honest with you, getting Gear 13 is probably going to take both a combination of Grand Arena Championship and Geo Territory Battle. They're launching Gear 13 with the TB. So I'm guessing that TB rewards are going to be part of it. So how are you going to do that? Where are you going to go with it? You're going to power creep together with your guild. This is the ultimate community building mode. Yeah. And being the community's show, I'm encouraging you guys to come to us with any questions on this whole territory battle. I welcome it.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. With Gear 13, I'm not too worried about power creep. I think the first one that everyone's going to want to get the Gear 13 piece on, I said it in the earlier show, is Grievous. I mean, all that extra health, that'll be the first character I'll be doing. So definitely something that you'd want to look at for Gear 13. The others, I don't know yet. Maybe Jedi Revan. You're looking at the bigger characters for those sorts of things. Darth Revan Malak, if you've got him, they're the ones that you'd probably be looking at Gear 13. What do you think about the potential cheaters in the Grand Arena challenges and the devs mention of anti-cheating being added into the Grand Arena challenges? Paul, I was a bit salty with my Grand Arena the other day, as you heard in our chat with Xylo. I was a little bit salty. The guy did not deploy defense, and I had these weird, wonderful teams that were coming up against me. And, all Gear 12, all Zated, and, they look fantastic on his side of the board. And yet, I just thought, okay, cool, I'll just do 2 battles because this guy's obviously not going to compete, whatever. He still came and beat me. Now, I don't know if that's right. I don't think that's fair. So, for me, I think that that's kind of something that needs to be looked at. Cheating, look, I don't really rate that either. I don't rate that at all. So, anyone that cheats in the game probably should be booted. Paul?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about power creep? They're the creepiest. I mean, they're going to go bye-bye, and we won't have to worry about them. It's not a matter of will they be caught. It's a matter of when they'll be caught.
Absolutely.
Don't do it.
Yep.
If you're a listener to our show and you cheat in Grand Arena, unsubscribe, unlike, I don't want you listening.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Oh, that's of course. I know what you're on about there, Helenix. When you talk about cheating, this is the people that remod their characters and put all the same, put the overpowered mods on different characters as they go into the GA. It's not on. I mean, like, if I like to think that I'm facing teams against the teams that I'm facing, and that's their mods. That's what they've got. So I don't want to be seeing mods getting stripped off and the like. So yeah, that's not really cool. There was another question here as well, Paul, and it was about Poggle the Lesser. With a description of the Lesser, how is he expected to compete against the more powerful Separatists? Well, it's a good question. Maybe, just maybe, he's going to be able to compete very, very well in the upcoming territory battles. Paul, you never know. He might just with his big stick going crack, crack, crack on some skulls.
Yeah. Exactly, and maybe they'll do a rework, and he'll be Poggle the Greater. We never. With that being said, Scotty, we've almost hit 2 hours and 30. We've gone over 2 hours and 30 minutes alone today in content. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. If you are a Patreon of the show, we are going to hop into the after show and talk to you guys live. If you're not a Patreon, consider joining tomorrow. I don't want you to join today. I want you to join tomorrow because you'll get double charged if you join before the end of the month. Join at the start of the month and join us for some Patreon benefits with the after show. And I'll just put it out there. There is the $50 there's the $50 territory battle analysis that I'm absolutely willing to take a look at your roster. Once I know requirements, once I know, things like what we need to knock out, I will gladly impart my wisdom upon that and help you out with it. We will be there for you as you guys are our community. Go check out any GoFundMes that we have with Nev and I, become a Patreon, and guys, go check out Macias, because you're going to need your mods redone for this territory battle. I have a good feeling of that, and also Grand Arena Championships coming up. This is a modder's paradise right now, and he will put you in the right direction, being the official modding service of the Escape Podcast. Scotty, you got anything to add?
I do. Make sure you tune into the show next week, guys. We've got Carrie as a stowaway, and she's going to be with us, CG Carrie, on this very show. I cannot wait for that. And make sure you guys catch all of that right here on the Escape Podcast next week. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's Paul, you're jumping out of your seat. All I have to say is, man, is that yes, I probably will be saying, where is my credit card to Carrie at some point? I don't know.
All right, Scotty. With that being said, Patreons will see you in the after show chat. And Scotty?
Yes, mate.
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the suit. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.